too much. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome to the AfrOtaku podcast, episode 35. I did clap. It just was dead.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the AfrOtaku podcast, episode 35, the podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-hosts who will introduce themselves starting right.
So
what up? I am Rex.
And that's Spirit. Come here, Spirit. And I'm Player 5. Hey.
Alright, so on to story time. Gramps, you got a story for us?
Yeah, man.
Alright.
Let me tell you about some shit that happened about a month ago. Less than a month ago, to be exact. So it's about a couple weeks after we moved into the new crib and everything, and we have a security system set up just in case somebody tried us in this new neighborhood.
Oh, somebody tried
y'all. You'll find out, man. You'll find out. So, it's a regular day. Go to the academy, knock the day out, and hop in my car, just getting ready to go home. So usually when one of us come into the crib, if we forget to turn the alarm off on our phones before walking on, depending on which door you'll come in, the alarm will automatically go into full alert mode instead of going into the timer where it's like, all right, nigga, you got a minute to put in the password before we go off.
Oh, wow.
No, it goes straight off to full alarm mode. So in this case, I get a notification that the house is in full alarm mode. So I'm thinking in my head, all right, give it about another 20 seconds or so, I should get another notification saying that it's disarmed. So I'm sitting there, nothing changes. So I'm like, nigga, what? So I call my girl, asked if she's at the crib. She's like, no, I'm still at work. I thought that was you at the crib. So now I'm like, oh shit.
That's
real.
That Kill Bill music.
I checked to see which one it was or whatever that set the alarm off. They said it was the back motion sensor. So we basically have a motion sensor that points toward the back door and back windows. So in my head, I'm thinking, so niggas thinking we were sleeping. They tried to slip in through the back window and come in and steal our shit. Now, my issue is I'm probably about fucking 30 to 40 minutes away from home, so I'm obviously not going to catch whoever it was or whatever. So people from home.
That's how I know you a real one, Gramps. Because instead, most people will be like, I can't wait till the cops get their hands on. But he was like, nah, man, I'm not going to be there in time to drop these
So let me call the cops
second.
How you your own first line?
Yeah, right? Damn, I'm not going to be there in time to whoop these niggas' ass.
Damn, I can't kill these niggas. Gotta send them to jail.
Got no choice now. So, I get a call from Ring. They asked me if I tripped the alarm off. I said, no, ain't nobody at the crib, that I know of. So they said, all right, we're going to send the cops out there and see what's up. So now it's basically the cops are on their way to my crib. My girl's on the way to the crib from her job, and I'm on my way to the crib. I'm fucking trying to race to get there before her, just in case some shit pop off before I get there or whatever. And obviously she got there before me. And tell me what y'all think is what set the fucking alarm off.
Yo, dog.
My fucking dog. So we always would place her inside of her kennel so she can stay there. It's a pretty spacious kennel, some luxurious shit. But she must have figured, all right, I'm tired of this fucking cage life. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna break out this bitch. Yeah. Now it's a fucking metal grate. I didn't think a dog could fucking break out of this.
Oh, she chewed through that motherfucker?
She, like, the corner of it, she pried that shit open. I don't know how this shit is possible, but she pried that shit open and slipped through the corner to get out. And now she's fucking walking around the house, setting the alarm off and doing all kinds of shit all over the place.
Oh, wow. What was she looking like? What was she looking like when y'all found her?
She was looking like a guilty motherfucker. That's what she was looking like.
That's funny. Hell no, I've been hot.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
So I'm thinking that maybe I must have re-put the cage back together or whatever, and because we had just moved or whatever, so I had to break down the cage and put it back together.
Yeah.
When we got up in there, so I put it back the way it was or whatever. This part that was like slightly bent, but I figured that was just her sliding through it or whatever. So I put it back to make sure that everything was 100% all Gucci and so forth. Give it another day or two, I get back home, pass her out the cage again. I still don't know how the fuck she was able to do that. Plus, it's a couple pounds of shit on the fucking carpet.
Wow.
Where she left out of the cage and piss nerd. So at this point, I'm pissed. This dog is definitely doing some fucking Houdini shit or some swole shit. Get out of this fucking cage, and now I can't fucking trust it.
Wow.
So this is what I would like to say.
Hey, keep in mind. Oh, okay, cool. You about to say in the dog's defense? I just want to say Peter may be watching.
In the dog's defense, what if somebody was trying to break in, and then your dog was like, "No, I can't let my master's stuff get taken, so I gotta bust out of here."
And on some anime shit.
On some anime
like,
shit.
Yeah, I gotta hold the city down.
I gotta hold it down. Plus ultra. You feel me?
Facts.
Bust out and defended your house. Now it's just broken, so he can keep getting out.
What if he also, or it's a she, right? You guys got a girl dog or a guy dog? I think he said she.
Okay, she.
But yeah, what if she also buried the bodies so that you never found out who did it?
She keeping y'all safe.
That's what I'm saying.
In the dog's defense. My defense rests his case.
Oh, so wait. So you saying that she unlocked the back door and the back screen door?
Yeah.
Dug a hole, put the body inside there, redug that bitch, locked both doors as she went in.
See, well, I'm saying buried as in like the bodies just disappeared. Now the means of how that body disappears, she could have just ate them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's probably where the shit came from. If you think about it,
they might just be hiding in your house somewhere,
right? Terrified. That's crazy though. I thought somebody really did break into your house, man. I was be like, dang, Gramps, and you didn't tell nobody? Yeah. You waited till the story time to reveal that your house was
Gramps be surprising us with the life.
Right, I'm like, get that we do a podcast, but I assume that we still friends outside of this podcast. Like, you should still.
You go like, hey, yo, story time. I got married. Like,
right?
What?
Nigga, I don't get it. Yeah, I know, but like,
I was gonna invite y'all during story time.
Right. Wow. Alright, is that it on the story time?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Alright, let's hop into some decent news. Before we get into cut the check, it's a pandemic going around. I don't know if the world, what's the disease center thing that does pandemic
CDC?
epidemics? Yeah. I don't know if the CDC says it's official, but social media and the internet says it's official. So coronavirus is real, y'all.
Yeah.
It's out here.
Out here, man, and it just hit the mean streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
So the news say, you know what I'm saying?
Looking for some diggers, man.
Yeah. Hey.
I know I already got enough issues going on.
Facts.
I'm just like, here's my thing though. So this is the what I find the funniest part of it. We know that it's probably only like 2 cases in all of Chicago.
Yeah.
But every nigga about to treat every Asian
like
they got this
yes,
shit, bro. Like, it's unlikely that you were about to run into the 2 people.
I feel sorry for the Asian kids in high school. Because those Asian kids in high school with black students, y'all get flamed every day. Don't touch me.
Hell, bro.
Hey, that nigga got corona.
And that brings me back to when that motherfucking swine flu hit, bro. You couldn't cough without a nigga saying, "Oh, he got that swine flu." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm just like, I feel bad for any Asian kid that go to school with black kids because I already know what they on.
Facts. Yeah, you gonna be getting flamed. If you wasn't already getting flamed enough, because black kids in high school is just a whole different level of, like, that's nonstop getting flamed. But yeah, now they got a whole new set of jokes for your ass. So
yeah.
Be careful.
Mm-hmm. So did y'all hear how apparently it started?
Nah, I started.
So I was looking on news. I don't know how true this is. I ain't no CDC nigga, but they said that motherfuckers was eating bat soup.
Oh.
And got that shit from bats.
Wow.
Like, Who does
What?
that?
I mean, it might be a delicacy in said country that had it.
I feel you. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you had that coming, bro. Eating
Wow,
bats.
really?
Eating bats. Bats are like some of the most diseased animals on the planet.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's
I
like
know.
rats then bats. Like, that's on you for that
You
one.
think so? It really goes rats.
I don't think you go rat directly to bat, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say rats, mosquitoes, then
I was
bats.
like, yo, rats to bats? No gradient, no chill, just boom, rats to bats.
Yeah, I'm
man.
pretty sure there's some in between. You feel me? Man?
You look under your fucking bedroom, it's bats and rats in there. Like, come on, man.
It's over. Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know it came from bats. There was I had something in my mind that I wanted to say about Corona, but then I kind of forgot. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm not. See, when it comes to shit like this, I don't ever want to downplay it too much because I feel like once you the nigga that downplay it, you the nigga that get it. So I'm gonna keep my mouth closed on the pandemic and just monitor its progress.
So you definitely looking at motherfuckers like they got it. You want that?
You are the type of nigga that says, as long as I believe I don't have something, I can't get it.
No, it's not that I can't get it. It's just that once you find out it's something, it's something. Like now the symptoms start showing up. Like, what if I had corona right now and I just never had symptoms? But then when I go to the doctor and have corona, I'm telling you, as soon as I leave that motherfucker,
You definitely got it.
like, yeah, I'm gonna start showing symptoms. But I been had it. That's all I'm saying. So you probably don't want to be around me because I'm the type of person that I might have it and I'm just gonna downplay the symptoms until it's
I'm
like,
dying.
yeah, I'm dying. Like, I'm in the emergency room.
Like,
So.
bro, I swear you was coughing up blood. No. I sucked on the Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, I just had some Kool-Aid
Yeah,
before this,
you know what I'm saying? That ain't even blood. Bro. Be on my deathbed like, yeah, I guess I probably did have that shit. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, stay safe out here with the people with corona. Make sure you wash your hands, wear a condom, all that good stuff. I don't know how it gets transmitted.
man. It get transmitted like the cold, so coughing on you.
Yeah, so then fucking somebody definitely.
You can't fuck nobody with a cold and get a cold, bro.
What
No
you mean?
way. Absolutely not.
Well, of course you guys swap and spit. You don't kiss when you have sex.
No, I ain't talking about. No, we're just talking about purely sex, bro.
Why? Who does that?
Some motherfuckers do.
Wow, who has sex without swap and spit?
I mean,
That's
if
crazy.
you just met the girl, you're not about to be kissing on her. Like,
Why are you putting your dick inside of her then at the
What?
same time?
What, nigga? Are you
What?
Jesus,
I get
bro?
what you're saying. I feel
Niggas
you,
do that.
but I also feel like having sex with somebody is like a degree worse in terms of like intimacy and spreading viruses or germs to somebody than just kissing them. So like to say that you just like, no, I'm not gonna kiss them, but I would definitely put my dick inside them. I go like, wow, dude, where's the barrier there? At that point, you're already all in, so you might as well just go ahead and.
Okay, I get what you said. Maybe I'm the scumbag. Ooh,
That's crazy.
that's funny.
All right, well, on to cut the check. Gramps, you have the portable body cooler. Sounds like a big nigga device for sure.
Exactly. That's the reason I chose this shit. So it's called Cool Human Portable Body Cooler. That's a long ass name or whatever.
Yep.
Their phrase is beat the heat. So it's a rechargeable portable body cooler that blows air under your clothes and cools your quote unquote
Jugga already got that joint.
So this is definitely for y'all big niggas. Easy for y'all little.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
Oh, he stay up, bro. He knows what.
He said Chuck already got that joint.
So I can definitely see y'all copping like 5 of these.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Nah, my fam. I think
That's a summer necessity.
I like to keep it OG with the big nigga sweat towel. I felt like until I see those sales lifted, will I move to, unless we could brand this as an AfrOtaku device, then I'm totally down for the portable human cooler or whatever it's called. But
So you saying
Big nigga
if
sweat towel
somebody
forever.
was like, hey, bro, I want to give you this to model it around.
oh yeah, no.
And preach his worth. You
Just
would
give me,
definitely.
I just had to say, here's an AfrOtaku sticker. Let me just slap that motherfucker right there. And then, yeah, for sure. I'll wear it.
Hell yeah, I bet that bitch probably.
I get what they're trying to do with making it concealable, but like, is it quiet?
That's what I'm wondering.
Do they call that out there as quiet? Because I feel like eventually somebody will hear, and then you just like,
nigga, you got a vibrator
one of
on
the
you, bro?
descriptions for it. It says silence, barely audible at the lowest setting, with normal ambient sound and more obvious at higher airflow settings.
Spirit. Hey.
say again, Gramps.
Barely audible at the lowest setting, with normal ambient sound and non-obvious at higher airflow settings.
Non-obvious. Sounds like a very vague term to say that it's probably kind of loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like super loud, but somebody will notice it.
But here's my thing. Niggas will walk around in the summer with portable fans anyway.
That's true.
So I feel like if you're using this on the
outdoors, it's fine. I just would not want, like, I'm not going to an event with friends with this. I feel like it's like...
You know why I could see this? It's like, let's say if I'm going to like a convention, like a business convention or something like that, where I know I'm going to be in a place with a lot of people in a suit, but I don't want my suit to get like hella sweat stains and shit. I'd be like, oh, okay, it's getting hot. Let me pop this on real quick.
That's valid.
It's a convention. People probably wouldn't notice.
No, I agree. That is definitely one of the perfect use cases for that.
Or if you're like somebody that gets really nervous during like a pitch meeting or something. Yeah. And then just like, oh, I'm going to wear this before I go in. And then turn it off like right before I go in. Yeah. Right. I could see a couple decent uses for it.
100%. It's $50. Woof. Did you cop it for $50? I copped the Walgreens $15 brand. Yeah. Like if they had a wall version of this.
Yeah, if they had one for 30 or less.
Every product is too fucking expensive.
Hey, bro, it really wasn't. Cause like they're not scaling for our market. They scaling for like even the guy it's marketed to is some like runner, active dude who probably has the money to spend on this. This is somehow a good investment for him. But like the average, like I think just maybe it's like my upbringing and like the black mentality. But like I'm not spending for something unless it's like you really have to show me the need.
I feel like when it comes to, in general, black people, for comfort items, you're going to have to show me why I need to spend $50.
Right, 100%.
I'm like, I could just fan myself.
Right.
Buy some water.
We always think of, like, what's the free option to this? Yeah. And, like, can I just do that?
I could do this joint right
or
here.
Or if I'm already
you know what I'm saying? And that was free.
I don't know where you were looking, but it doesn't cost $50.
Oh, I was seeing this first thing that said one circuit, one socket.
No, two of them. There's two of them for $46, but one of them for $23.
Oh, okay, then that's reasonable. Am I searching for this though? No.
If it was a hot day and I saw it, 100%, I'll drop 20.
Right for that, yeah. Like if I'm out in the trip somewhere,
like man, I'm at the Taste and some dude got these.
That's the perfect. Yeah, I don't see this as an investment. More like if you caught me when I really needed it, I could see myself buying it, but I wouldn't buy it preemptively.
For sure.
Yeah. No, they should probably start marketing it that way. So give it to some niggas at like hot conventions or hot like outdoor activities.
Or people with was it hydrosis or whatever, people that would just like sweat like crazy. Yeah. Like I don't know if there's a help, but shit.
Maybe.
Or just give it to big niggas. As simple as that.
I don't know, man, because I don't know if big niggas really buying it like this. Because I feel like as some big niggas, you might need 2 or 3 of these joints. Right? I don't think one is taken care of.
That's why they sell them in groups.
And then is it going to puff your shirt up?
That yeah, when you get 3 of them joints, when you get 3 of them joints, you in that bitch looking like Big Hero 6.
Hell no. Hey, if it puff your shirt up, that's dead.
I agree. If it does puff my shirt up, I'm done with it.
If it puffs your shirt up, they might as well stop selling it as a...
I think their use cases for the gym are kind of stupid.
That's counter...
Because you go there to sweat. So, like, I feel like the person who's going to the gym and complaining about the sweat they're having at the gym, like, oh, man, I'm sweating right now. Like, why are you at the gym? Like, I would just be confused as to why you want it there. I think that use case is off, like showing it there. I'm like,
what do you mean, bro? You ain't at the gym to sweat. You at the gym to bulk up.
I feel you, but like, how many people do you know that complain about them sweating in the gym?
Not a single person.
Exactly. So I'm like, why would you want it? Like, why would you want to be the nigga in the gym that don't look like he's working hard? Yeah. You will be that nigga in the gym that doesn't look like he's working hard.
That would seem like a market where, like, why are we trying to market this there?
Maybe running I could see. Like, that probably could help, like, as far as keeping you maybe going, like, maybe being cooler, like, helps with your ability to run. Yeah. But weightlifting and all this other stuff, yeah, no, I'm good, man. In the gym, I wouldn't bring this there. I think that's kind of weird. Would you bring it to the gym? You're the avid gym goer here. Would you bring it to the gym?
Dude, I don't care about sweating.
Oh, see, so there you go.
Don't make no sense.
So you don't even need this, Gramps?
Hell no, but it's for y'all big niggas. That's
wow, man. So you already took yourself out the community.
He ain't part of, he ain't one of us, bro. Wow. I'm happy that you've come to accept that.
Check it out. All I'm going to say is, every time y'all niggas used to come to my crib so we could run that podcast,
all right.
You know, at the old spot.
That wouldn't have made a difference.
Niggas would complain to me.
Oh, we definitely would have had to buy those on some test shit.
If I had these at the crib, y'all wouldn't have said a fucking thing.
No, I don't think that would have made a difference, man.
Them shits will have to literally be an air conditioner.
You would have just had to get a
fan.
fan. Even with the fan, sometimes niggas was sweating.
I really felt like we was doing the podcast in the sauna. And you was the only nigga not sweating.
That'd be funny. I wonder if we were all skinnier back then because of how hot it was.
Gotta be. Gramps was doing his part, keeping us healthy, bro.
But yeah, so Gramps, it's a no for you on buying this then, right? For me, like what Player 5 said, I think the price point is okay, but I wouldn't go preemptively. If they call me at the right time, meaning like I'm outside or I'm traveling and it's hot and there's some person like hawking these things, I'd buy it for the 20, but that's it.
I feel like 20 is the perfect price to not care that much.
Yeah.
But 50, I gotta look at it.
I hope one is enough for business because the guy in here is not a nigga who looks like he sweats anyways. It's like this skinny white guy. So I think they need a big nigga test on a portable cooler.
For sure.
Cool, if you want to send us some copies or whatever, we'll try them out.
Not in the winter though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't try it out outside, but I mean in a podcast recording, I just put the bitch on to see if it works. But alright, on to the anime segment. Yeah, let's do anime segment. So, first thing I just wanted to touch on because I felt like I had to apologize to the anime community. I made a mistake last year. I didn't finish watching Fire Force before we did the decent awards, but now I have, and I feel like it is should have won slept on anime or manga of 2019 because 9 of them niggas was talking about it, and 2 should have won anime of the year. Honestly, like I think it was out of Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone. I didn't watch Vinland Saga, but I don't think Vinland Saga is competing either. Shield Hero, like Fire Force to be was better than all. I got through it, finished it. It was a solid, great series. Like I said, greatest anime of 2019 in my opinion. I just had to come back to y'all and let y'all know that, like, if you're a Fire Force fan, my bad for disrespecting. And if you haven't watched Fire Force, like, use 2020 to go ahead and get through that because that shit was good.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I actually just finished that shit the other day. Yep. The show is hot. No pun intended. I'm
surprised that. Why do y'all think it got such like little press in terms of like the community? And I wouldn't say like press as in big animes. I'm talking about like the community actually talking about it. Like not many niggas talking about it.
So I feel like your average person can only keep up with about 3 anime at a time, which is why you get the big 3, not like the big 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I feel like this was an abnormal year in that a lot of hits came out. Like Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, and Fire Force. Then you already got shit like My Hero out, you know what I'm saying, Black Clover. So it's already a lot of good anime to keep up with. And Fire Force, I think, is polarizing. It's goofiness. If you're not used to that style, you're probably like, I don't want to fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? There is definitely a slump in the series. If you're not watching it straight through, there's a slump in the middle of the series where a lot of people fell off of it. A lot, you know. So yeah, it's just kind of like it just if it came out in the winter or spring now, if it came out right now, while everything else on break, niggas would talk about, Fire Force, that'd have been it.
What about you, Grant? Why do you think niggas wasn't really talking about it like that?
Well, I try to think about why, for example, a show like Toriko wasn't really talked about a lot, because I feel like that show was hot as hell in its own. And I don't know, I guess it's based off of first impressions. When somebody thinks about a description for the show, they make that initial judgment of you want to fuck with it or not. Right. And I'm guessing when people, for example, with Toriko think, oh, niggas just eating food and getting stronger from it, I ain't gonna fuck with that. People are probably thinking, oh, it's just niggas being firefighters. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I had to say I agree like a little bit with both of y'all, but I think that what was making me think that people wasn't catching on it is that like the first few episodes, and like you said, that slump kind of make it feel like your typical shonen. Like I don't know that turning point specifically when I was like, whatever, I think it's when like more people started getting like their own solo fights, or like maybe around time they started like investigating the first squad. But I feel like if you go into it from like the first couple episodes, you go like, oh, this is like Naruto without plot or whatever, or like you feel like it's your typical shonen, so there's nothing that stands out. But then once they start getting into like, oh, it's deeper than rap, like there's this subplot, plus the action is really solid, then I think that's when it catches. But I feel like most people didn't stay around long enough to do that. And then, like you said, other shows like Demon Slayer, and like Dr. Stone, which was just giving you something totally new from jump. So I felt like you either like stuck with it and loved it from that first episode, or you knew for sure it wasn't for you after that first episode. And Demon Slayer was just like the hype around it just forced you to finish it, whether you thought it was that good or not. And the animation was beautiful. So, like you said, I think it had a lot to compete with. And I don't know how they could have structured the first couple episodes to make it more like in your face. I felt like maybe it started like in a Black Clover way, where even though they were seasonal, they kind of story told in like a this shit ain't going on break kind of manner in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And if they went more like, oh, this is going to end after 20-some episodes, I think maybe would have caught earlier. Because they would have probably front-loaded some of it, like cut some of these episodes shorter. Like, I think maybe the second episode where they have to like go to that house and like, I don't know, they just fight a normal Inferno. But it was like this whole sad thing about it that was just way too long. I felt like if it was more seasonal, they probably would have cut that into like, here's like first episode, or here's like half of the second episode, and now we into other shit.
Yeah, that's what I think would have been a good way for them to tell the exact story they did, but catch more people, is if they told it in kind of like a split timeline. Like, oh, hey, here is where our main character are, or this is where they are, like Shinra and Gang. Mm-hmm. They're kind of getting into this plot. Yeah. And then you just do flashbacks of like the shit that we saw before. Because I feel like the first half of the series was just a big ass flashback. Like we see this nigga join Company A, like all this stuff that kind of don't matter that much, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like they could have just started with the shit that mattered.
Yeah, like the evangelist shit. Mm-hmm. That actually would have been a good idea, yeah.
Because, like, yeah, the first half of the series, like, besides episode 1, like, you don't really have to watch it. You just doing team building. And the team don't even start to get lit until the second half of the series anyway. Yeah. So it's like you still gonna see them niggas turn up.
Yeah. I mean, did you have anything else to add, Gramps? Because there was one more part I want to talk about with this.
No, I say everything I had.
All right, yeah. So last thing I wanted to say also, because I just took the time to do it, I was like in my car and I was like, you know, I wonder if the openings are better too. And in my opinion, I think Fire Force openings, both of them was really hard compared to everything else that dropped this year.
Fire Force had the hardest opening this year.
Yeah, but both of them though were really hard because they had the two. And I listened to, I think Demon Slayer only had one. Shield Hero had two. Dr. Stone had two. And what else was hot? I didn't listen to Vinland Saga ones, but compared to those, Fire Force blew those openers out the water, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Overall, if you haven't watched Fire Force, please go back and watch it. And, you know, that was my apology. Next.
We accept it. Those of us that been rocking since
the jump. Hey, no, come on, man. You said it was falling off?
It was falling off, but I stayed with that motherfucker, didn't I? Now, hey, if Promise Neverland would have came back. You should have
put more respect on the name.
At first, I thought I was tripping because everybody was like, "Oh, that shit ain't that good." maybe I'm tripping.
Deuce literally thought it was about firefighting.
I really did. Once it started slumping, I was like, bro, I must be the nigga that's tripping. When it turned up again, I was like, no, I'm not tripping. Niggas is asleep. So, I had to do some self-reflection.
Okay. Next one, Stronger Than. So, do you want to tell people the backstory of this new series?
Sure. So basically, I was having some discussion with some young bucks, some people new to anime, and they were just hyping up Demon Slayer, calling it the GOAT, calling it like all types of crazy things. And then we kind of go into our conversation. I'm explaining why it's not that great, and then they started talking about like all these other swordsmen who, quote unquote, Tanjiro would bang, and literally. They said that he would bang the GOAT of swordsmen, at least from American perspective. The Batosai himself, Kenshin Himura. And I was like, whoa, y'all kids, y'all don't watch TV. Y'all just watch Funimation. That's it. And so this is where this kind of came from, is like this idea of like, okay, so all these characters that are out here or whatever, doing whatever they do, what are some characters that could literally just do their job better or are doing their job better? Yep. And so that's why we thought about like the swordsman thing. So like, which swordsmen are better than Tanjiro? If either A, they already just flat out better, or if B, like, if we were to switch their powers, like, who would, like, let's say if we were to put the Batosai in the Demon Slayer world, he'd probably be a way better Demon Slayer.
He's the sun god. Oh, sorry, y'all ain't got there yet, but he's that nigga. Like Gramps knows, but.
So I definitely ain't there. Yo. I'll wait till I get it dubbed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, might as well. I mean, it's definitely going to get it dubbed. We already seen how hot it was. But, so yeah, so like I said, so this is, or like Player 5 said, this is our Stronger Than series. Don't know the cadence yet, but we'll be taking some of your favorite anime/manga characters and just letting you know, like educating the community on some other characters that are comparably better or fairly close to that person in strength. Because like obviously it's going to be super easy to just name some super OP characters, right? Like in this case, we're doing Tanjiro as a swordsman. So we could name like somebody like Trunks, but Trunks barely passes the mark as a swordsman. And most of the reason why he beat Tanjiro is purely based off of the scale of the DBZ universe. So we're actually trying to find some closer characters to you so you can expose you to some other anime/manga, because clearly we going down a road where people aren't educated. They sleeping on some goats. Not to sound like an old head here, but just like, you got to open up your third eye a little bit. Yeah. So, welcome to Stronger Than. We each came with one swordsman that we feel like is a better swordsman than Tanjiro. When we say swordsman, we're not just talking about pure strength. We're really talking about technique. So, like Player 5 said, if we bring Tanjiro to this person's world, are they still better or is Tanjiro better? Or if we bring Tanjiro into their world, are they better or Tanjiro better? So everyone brought theirs. Y'all can go ahead and share yours. Whoever want to go first.
So yeah, I just kind of keep these two as a pair, just because I think anybody that watches the show would agree that they basically on similar skill. But Jean and Mugen from Samurai Champloo, two samurais. If you don't know about Samurai Champloo, basically these two samurai kind of meet in a really odd way, almost fight to death, but then they just kind of come together on a like collective journey to get some girl to where she needs to be. You get to see a bunch of samurai stuff. That's the gist. And yeah, I feel like, let's say if we were to strip Tanjiro of his powers and just straight up put him in this world, like this is a world where ain't nobody got magic powers. Either you good with that sword or you getting chopped up. And I ain't seen it. I really ain't seen it. If it wasn't for all the magical water sword stuff, I think he dies.
Which is also in their mind.
Yeah, which apparently also in their mind.
Really, none of that shit.
So it's just like, yeah, if that's the case, if it's all in their mind, you gotta realize that all Tanjiro is doing is kind of one-shotting people with single strokes. And that's definitely not going to work in the world where Samurai Champloo. Like, Mugen is like a 3-dimensional fighter. He be breakdancing all over the place. And Gene is like a literal, like, hey, I was classically trained samurai and will body like 6 regular samurais easy. With his glasses, push him up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and if you were to get him like Demon Slayer, kind of like super swords and stuff like that, I think they would body a lot of them demons.
Yep. I'll toss mine in there. So I'm gonna go manga route. Kurogane Gamma from Gameran. Gameran is another samurai series. If I had to give it a 1-sentence summary, it's basically like the Baki of swordsmen. This guy named Gamma is basically trying to defeat his father, who's like the strongest swordsman in the world, and you get to kind of see his journey through swordsmanship from beginning to end. He ends up becoming a pretty decent swordsman. I don't even think he ends the series as the strongest swordsman, but I think his skill is still comparably stronger than Tanjiro. So, more or less, it's all technique with Gamma. He's pretty versatile, learns on the fly, similar to Tanjiro, but at the same time, he's also just has like genius level background when it comes to swordsmanship, which I think Tanjiro doesn't have. So overall, if either one switched worlds, I think Gamma would be a way better Tanjiro, and Tanjiro probably would die in Gamma's universe. Gramps?
Alright, so I'm going to hit y'all with a slight curveball. I know people wouldn't typically think of samurai when they think of this person, but I'm going to hit y'all with Killer Bee from Naruto. Everybody knows about Naruto, so I don't have to give a description of the show or whatever, but based off just one fight, when you see the fight between him and Sasuke, the man was definitely throwing mean hands with swordsmanship when he was fighting with this dude. And he wasn't, you can argue that he definitely wasn't using any powers. He wasn't using the 8-tails beast or anything like that. He was specifically placing swords in different parts of his body and throwing hands with somebody who you can definitely say probably would also beat Tanjiro, just based off of using his powers and, Sharingan and all that bullshit. And this man was definitely giving Sasuke the hand with just the swordsmanship on his own before he even whipped out the powers. So, and nobody has any powers, straight hands, swordsmanship. Yeah, Killer Bee would give him the work.
Cool. So those were our 3 suggestions. We just want to toss out some honorable mentions as well of characters we think are probably also comparably stronger, and we could shoot them out now.
Yeah. So obviously, Kenshin Himura.
Thanks.
I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why he the GOAT. I also think basically any of like Kenshin's like homies, because the whole show is about like samurais and stuff like that. So any of his homies are kind of solidified too. They probably be dope in that world. One that a lot of people don't kind of fuck with that hard is Shaman King world. Mm-hmm. Like Yo Asakura, before they start to get like shonen
You're
up.
basically saying Amidamaru though.
Yeah, basically before they start to get shonen up, like Amidamaru, but also because at some point basically learned the skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so definitely by lore of the story, one of the coldest samurai in Japan. You know what I'm saying? So like he gonna box on him. I kind of want to throw Shishomaru from Inuyasha.
Ooh,
I think with no powers, bro, he's still going hard.
You think so?
My man Shishomaru.
That is true, because his sword itself wasn't actually like a combat sword. So it was all swordsmanship that he was actually.
If he landing a strike on you with a sword that can't kill you, you're a hoe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that is actually a very good sleeper right there. Like,
who else would I toss in the debate? I think Mufune from Soul Eater is one. I know you gave him a barely pass. I don't know how, but I think the versatility that he showcased, plus like his fights versus Black Star, kind of showcased his skill there. Where I think he would definitely give Tanjiro some go.
That'd be a cold demon slayer too.
Yeah,
it's a whole bunch of swords.
Facts.
That'd be lit.
So I put him up there. Zoro is debatable, but I think he makes a chance.
Debatable?
Because we just have to understand what technique, how we can separate the technique from the strength.
Oh, yeah.
Because once we take away Zoro's strength, that's a lot of his stuff early in the series. But he still has some techniques that I think he learned from swordsmanship, which is like the ability to cut steel. I consider that like a swordsmanship technique. And some other things. So I think once we take the strength away, it's just like trying to see if we can guess what he's like without that as far as swordsmanship goes. But I think he might edge it out.
In the first episode, that nigga like cut some bullets down. And I think that was like before everybody OP. Like that might have been just skill. I'm like, so you can do that. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I might get to Zoro.
But then the question becomes though, like, cause Zoro back then was still kind of a weak booty as far as swordsmanship goes. So if we toss Tanjiro in that level, my guess is that Tanjiro is not like your average swordsman in the One Piece world. So then I felt like that skill, since he was showcased in the first episode, he should be able to do some shit like that.
I can respect that.
I'm thinking that Tanjiro would definitely get dropped. There's too many fanboys out there. completely disagree with what you're saying right now. They would fucking argue with you to the end of this world.
Oh yeah, I know.
If you were to say that Zoro has a chance of losing against that boy.
Yeah, I know what they saying. Like post time skip Zoro, yeah, maybe there's more of an argument to be made, but we haven't seen much.
I think what he's saying is, if you were to put Tanjiro, like, let's say Luffy finds Zoro and Tanjiro locked up in that fucking prison, episode 1. You know what I'm saying? And both of them niggas come out. At the end of One Piece, he's subject to the same world. Is Zoro gonna still be better than Tanjiro? And that's where you kind of like, who knows, shit.
Yep. And if you take away the strength from Zoro, that really hurts a few of his... I don't know, a few of the reasons why people put a lot of respect on him, because I felt like the one thing that really shuts the whole argument down is that, like, we've found out that Zoro can cut atoms, so they're kind of like destroys the whole argument. But either way, just
that doesn't make any sense.
Most time we see Zoro fight, he like is cutting big shit down, and it's hard to tell whether that's technique or whether that's like his actual just like raw strength, because we've seen him do some crazy raw strength feats. So that's the part where I'm like, so if we separate that, like, did he cut Pika using swordsmanship skill? Or was that just like a showcase that Zoro is just a strong ass motherfucker, or what? Like, those are the things that I think is what makes it debatable.
Okay. I got you.
Any other swordsmen from you, Gramps? You want to toss in there as honorable mentions?
Yeah, other than Zoro that I would have put in there, I would have personally said Afro Samurai.
Oh yeah.
Just because
Afro.
I don't think there's anybody on this fucking planet that's gonna disagree that Afro Samurai is gonna fuck that boy up.
There's some kids
and you
out
obviously have never watched any fucking thing in your life.
He gonna fuck him up like in a different kind of way though, because that should be gruesome. So it's like you may not even want to see what Tanjiro looked like at the end of that battle, fam.
True.
He might not have no teeth, no eyes. Like that nigga gonna be fucked up. Yeah. Oh, some ones that are just to be funny. Some ones that Arthur might be. Sorry, not. I've already given away the character. Some ones that Tanjiro might be stronger than is Arthur from Fire Force.
Yeah, I agree.
Tanjiro might get that nigga some gold.
Bro, Arthur from Fire Force. Trash.
But that I don't know, because we have to say full. Or does he have a night outfit on or not?
No,
if he doesn't, he's destroyed.
If he got the joint,
what if he got the horsey?
If he got the horse, it's over.
You did Arthur winning?
Yeah, with the horse, he powered up, bro.
Okay.
Hi-Ho Silver getting it done. Yo, so don't say he wasn't swole with Silver, bro.
Nigga, I thought we were talking about swordsmanship. Y'all talking about bringing powers into this shit.
I mean, but that's just an outfit, you feel me? That ain't powers. That's just, he turned the fuck up with that horse, bro.
Yeah.
Nigga, his sword is completely tripled in size. What are you talking about?
Hi-Ho Silver, my nigga.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing though, for real, because if you toss Arthur in a world where like it's old school Camelot, his shit is automatically gonna get boosted like 10 points.
Yeah.
Like that's a environmental advantage right there.
Yo, if you put that nigga in actual suit of armor or something.
Y'all gonna say Urza gonna automatically beat the nigga just based off of the friendship shit.
Urza don't got strats, bro.
Yeah,
She
Urza
definitely
and
just be
swordsmanship,
swinging
that
them
I
bitches.
don't know. Like
She just be
that
swinging
is
them
a very debatable one right there. Urza versus Tanjiro. I'd have to see which, because like even if she has the ability to use any one of those weapons, but they're just scaled to where it makes
Urza
sense.
without strength would look really stupid. She'd just be.
Alright. Oh, okay. So you think Tanjiro bothering her? Then?
It's all the strength, bro.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
That bitch don't do nothing but swing.
Yeah.
no strike. God, if that don't cut a nigga down, she gonna be like, huh? They usually do it.
Any other swordsman y'all think is for sure taking the L to Tanjiro?
That's tough.
I would put
Inuyasha ass, he do the same shit. That boy just swing.
yeah, that's facts. Inuyasha did. I would put Hella Meppo or whatever the fuck his name is from One Piece. The lieutenant Kobe's like trainee buddy now. I guess he's qualified to some sort of a swordsman, but he died. But yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next segment. We have. Do you feel like the My Hero animation gonna be quick? We can move that up.
Yeah, that's super quick.
All right, let's move that up.
I don't know if y'all been looking at My Hero anime, but yeah, they did
Watch
some
the
pretty.
Deku.
Yeah, they
I was
did some pretty
disappointed.
decent with the animation.
From what I saw,
like it?
I don't feel like I got the. I think they were trying to showcase that Deku was just moving like really fast, so you never really saw like the punches land in a way. The only thing where I was like, that nigga's dead is like the last punch, where I'm like, he should be dead.
Yeah, he should be
He
dead.
should not wake
His
up
body
from this.
should have exploded. But that's the thing, in like the manga, I don't think they really showed that either.
Yeah.
Like his hits landing. You just saw like the one kick and then the one punch.
Mhm.
That's all. Like he really beat that nigga in 2 hits.
Right.
But I feel like they just added that part just to add it, because in the manga it was just like kick up, a speech, and you got knocked down. Like, he was asleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought they animated it pretty cool. I think they do a good job of like. The thing that kind of throw me off though is how it completely switches animation. Like it's a completely different animation team. It seemed like.
Oh really? For this season?
Not
Or
even this
just
season.
when it come to
They've done
fights?
this before.
Oh.
Like when Deku and Bakugo fight, same thing. It's like literally them niggas was talking and it was like, all right, cut new animation team. Let's go. We about to box, and it's just completely different.
The boxing teams.
Yeah. But I like that. They do a good job and make it interesting. I'm just upset with them for one point. They disrespect my nigga Mirio. Because, like, don't you know, Mirio had, like, this much fight in the manga.
Yep.
Deku had, like, this much. But when they animated that shit, it went like this. Like, Mirio shit was like, ha, ha, on some old Batman shit. And then Deku got the whole, like, let's animate this nigga eyeballs. Like, everything.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. In comparison to the other fights, I don't think it was, like, as off, because we had to do that whole Overhaul versus Mirio video, which I'm hoping will be out by the time this is out. So I'm putting this here to say go watch that. But in that, like, the manga and anime comparison, a lot of the things were similar as far as the way the fight was executed. But I get you, like, there's like a lot of other things they kind of just seasoned on more, where I felt like it didn't get the sell it needed. Given like how they built that story up, because I just think the way it was built in the manga was like, when they got to that fight and Mirio lost his quirk, I don't know if the anime community felt the same way the manga community did in that moment, like given the way that arc was like kind of set up, and then they just like didn't take the time to like just slow down and like let people know like this Mirio nigga, like, because now like in retrospect, when we were having all those arguments, and I was kind of like, no, I still don't think Mirio should have been like, I don't think he would have been a second number 2 pro hero coming out of school. Like, I take all of that back, given like the full analysis I did, because it's like when you look at what happened right after, Night Eye fights Overhaul, and he has the future predicting shit on, so he can see the future and still gets dropped. Like, during that fight with Mirio, Overhaul stated, like, he was like, yo, I can't handle this dude. Like, this dude would defeat me. And then Night Eye comes right behind him, a pro hero who trained under All Might, second, like, turning on his ability to literally predict what's going to happen. and still loses to Overhaul. And then, like, even during that fight, when he's hitting him in the manga, Overhaul says, like, he has similar movements to Mirio, but his is slower. So he's already saying, like, oh, this nigga Mirio is, like, pro hero level. Like, I don't even know why he's in here. Like, give this nigga a degree.
Yeah.
So just the fact that they didn't really, like, take the time to, like, showcase what I feel like the author's intention was basically showing you, like, Lumillion is a hero with his power, without his power. And if he had one for all you're doing is just adding, like, icing on top of an already, like, fixed cake. Like, if he had one for all, it's a wrap. Like, no one can stop him. So I don't feel like I got that from watching it. I feel like they animated it fine, but I just don't feel like the storytelling part of it was there.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I like, because I came back to conversations with John, a guy that we interviewed on here before, because he anime only.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, you don't get the hype like we got, because I feel like the manga let you make your own choice. That's why we had these debates. Who really should have got one for all?
Right.
Whereas the anime was like, no, we're framing this so that you know Deku's the main character.
Right.
Like, all this is about Deku. And I was just like, I guess I understand 100% why you did it, so I'm not super mad, but at the same time, y'all should let people make that choice. You should have gave them both the light, because in the manga, that boy Lemillion need to get paid right now.
100%. They should have been drafted him out of school.
Oh, yeah.
This actually brings up a question with what you were saying, MMG.
Yep.
If nobody had powers and it was just a straight up hands competition between everybody, what do you see All Might? What place do you see him in?
If he was just fighting?
If everybody was just throwing straight hands. Because it seems like, even though he had Night Eye as his sidekick, it doesn't seem like he actually developed that strategy mindset when it comes to fighting people or going in and solve mysteries and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, would he actually be able to defeat a lot of the characters within the show if everybody was on equal planes as far as power and speed goes?
I'd say yeah, because like, so one thing you gotta remember is that by lore, All Might isn't like a goofy ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? And then actually you can see a little bit of this because I was just rewatching a couple of episodes of when All Might was fighting Deku and Bakugo. It's like All Might is very aware at all times like what's going on, so he like punch people in perfect ways to like damage you, knock you out, and not do damage to the area.
That's
so it's like he really be stratting, like he almost like overcautious hero here. You know what I'm saying? Like over stratting how he gonna beat people, even though it just seemed like to us he just kind of just throwing fists. By lore, All Might should be a very smart, strategic guy.
Yeah, for me, I like haven't paid attention to any of like the side All Might content, so like any of the movies where they showed him at a younger age. What you brought that to my mind, and then because you said that, I think like also like if you watch Deku's journey, I think you're allowed to assume some of that is in All Might's head as well, like because they talked about that after the Overhaul fight, like how he dropped the Overhaul was like supposed to be to basically minimize the damage to the area, the way he defeated him. Even though it looked like it was some big dumb shit, he actually thought about it. So I think that you can attribute some of that to All Might. But I just sometimes give All Might the Superman complex, where I felt like in some storytellings of Superman, they basically go like, this nigga was just so strong, so he never actually needed to know how to use his hands. And then whenever he runs into like his first battle with Darkseid, he'll just straight like drop him, because it's like, nigga, you know, like I am strong, but I actually know how to fight, and you just got away with punching shit. So I attribute some of that to All Might. But like what you said is making me change my mind a little bit to where I can lean more towards like he probably has a strategy to be a hero without his powers. But some of me still leans towards the fact that he could bowflex pretty much anything in the... Like, I haven't seen him ever struggle in a fight. Even when he was sick, it was more like, oh, this sick thing was there. But if I was ever regular All Might, this is still not an issue.
I got one more thing to add to it to why I believe All Might got hands, is because he didn't get all for one or One for All. He didn't get One for All until he was basically about to graduate. So that means he went through 3 years of UA as just a nigga. Like, hey, there go Toshinori Yagi or Toshinori Yagi. That nigga just beat niggas up. Like, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
okay.
I feel like if you go through UA just throwing motherfucking hands, you gotta have something.
It's a valid point. I did not think about that.
You right.
All right.
Yeah,
we good on that? On the My Hero animation?
Yep.
I think we should just touch on it real quick if we saw it for the views. The 100 or 1000%. I know we like seasoned it, but just formally talk about the fight. The 1000% Deku. Eerie backpack.
Oh, Eerie backpack? Oh, yeah. Okay. Shit. I told y'all niggas. I told y'all. Airy backpack OP, boy. But like, okay, so rewatching it, in the manga, I felt like it was just difficult to kind of get an idea of power scaling. But in the anime, it kind of give you a better idea of power scaling. It was just like, Overhaul was the perfect person to see. Like, okay, you can see how a mid-tier hero does against him, a low-tier hero, a child, somebody that's like, should be top 10 when he graduate. Yeah. And then I feel like, I'm gonna be real, Dragon Lady was hiding from that nigga. She didn't want no smoke. She was top 10.
She's
like,
so trash.
Oh, none of this. That's why your ass ain't top 10 no more. No, I think she's not.
Dragon Lady's so trash.
I
was more mad because like when she transforms, I didn't know that in the anime, but like she still maintains human skin color, which I hate. That just looks so nasty. Like I would prefer if she like got green skin or had green skin, but for the fact that she turns to a dragon and then like it's like human skin on that dragon, like that's what I keep thinking. I'm like, it's disgusting. How did she even get top 10? Like she's not attractive.
I guess when
so where's the popularity coming? Like, was Mount Lady ranked higher than her at that time?
No, Mount Lady was unranked at the time.
Wow.
She'll get ranked until they drop their new shits. But yeah, I just Airy backpack kind of showed, hey, All Might would have clapped this nigga in 2 hits. Would show you that like All Might's so much stronger than everybody else. It's absurd. It's
so disrespectful. That's why I just go like nothing in this world with All Might and One for All is a challenge. And then the times that I go and think about that, I also have to think like, oh, One for All is like a power multiplying ability. So technically, Deku's max is stronger than All Might's max. So all this shit should take Deku even like less time at his peak strength, at his prime. Like all this stuff should be absolutely nothing to Deku. Yeah. Like where is the challenge going to be?
But at the same time, though, and I think I had this discussion. I don't even know if this is the place to have it. Fuck it. That whole like quirk, what is it, like quirk singularity thing where it's like all quirks are getting stronger? Yeah. Like this is an example. Like Eerie is at a level, just being born at a level with niggas like One for All and All for One. Yeah. Like she could have killed One for All right there.
Facts.
And if All for One caught her on the wrong day, that nigga could be dead too. Like, and she just got a regular quirk. And I've been saying this to people, and we'll get to it in the manga part. Yeah. But Todoroki quirk stronger than One for All. It's unlimited power if they don't add no new weaknesses to it. Todoroki has a better quirk than Deku, but you know. I'll get to that when we get to
somebody been watching too much Fire Force. You've been drinking that Fire Force Kool-Aid.
I'm like, but that nigga could just move like she is.
The expansion of the universe is the heat.
I'm just saying.
Do you understand how much heat that was? The scientist was like acting like the audience in that moment because he was like, nigga, what? Bro, he said, no. The heat of the universe?
That's the shit where I'm like, I'm so happy for that character because that's how I be reacting to stuff when people just throw out these powers. Like, I'm just doing this. I'll be like, you know how much energy that would take, nigga? Like, when All Might ran to All for One in like 3 seconds and it was like 50 kilometers, I'm like, what, nigga? Yeah. You know, shit like that happened. I was so happy for him.
I'm surprised his brain didn't explode because it was like to see that, to first of all like fathom that exists, and as soon as he wrapped his head around it, Shinra like is able to pass the speed of light, and he's like,
I'm like, y'all niggas tripping.
Hey, yo, brothers!
I'd have definitely got it. I'm like, these two niggas tripping, bro. They gonna blow this bitch up. I'd have went home.
But then I'd be more mad because then after that, to see the first cat, like him fight the first captain after he got sick, yeah, and I'm like, anyways, speaking of My Hero, we might as well just go ahead and cut into Fourth Hokage versus All Might.
So I just want to ask y'all real quick. So I posted this on our like Facebook shit post area called The Decent Spot. If you're not on it,
it's not a shit post area. A lot of people are nice on that.
Yeah, people.
There's just a couple people who don't let arguments die. That's all.
Yeah, so it's nice. But yeah, we were talking about was
just hot. That was a hot post.
Was really hot.
When somebody comes back on a Facebook post and makes another post to ask the audience about an argument they feel like was like incorrect, because that dude came back and he was like, "Yo, so you telling me if somebody say this?" He made a whole post just to get opinions to back his argument up on the comment. Like,
he was hot.
You know it was a real one. So yeah, go ahead.
But basically, the post was I firmly believe the Fourth Hokage would drag Prime All Might. And, All Might the new hotness, and niggas was hot. Niggas was not trying to hear that. Yeah. But I was just, like, rewatching some old, because I never finished the anime for Naruto. I just read the manga.
You talking about Shippuden, though?
Yeah, Shippuden. Yeah. So I would just randomly go back and watch some of the fights. And I was watching this fight, and I was like, nah, this nigga will drag All Might. Like, it's crazy. And so I posted on there, and that shit, like, 100 comments of niggas just... Wow, like, bro, fuck that nigga, the Fourth Hokage, All Might to the world blow up. But, so I'm gonna ask y'all opinion on it real quick, then I'll give my reasoning. Who do y'all think will win?
My opinion, I didn't look into the facts of any of this. I feel Fourth Hokage. Just because that nigga just seems broken. And I don't think All Might's speed has passed the fourth speed. And we just watched, we just watched fucking All Might versus Might Guy in Death Battle. If we want to take these niggas as any sort of truth, and they said Night Guy would win, even though it would kill him afterwards, Night Guy would win. So that at least tells me Naruto's scale is comparable. So that's, if I had that argument, then I feel like I could lean to Fourth Hokage wins.
Okay, Gramps.
I'm just thinking based off of the beginning of the show, Fourth Hokage kind of went against what's the name of the Nine-Tails Fox?
Kurama?
Yeah, he basically went against Kurama and essentially won that shit. And I kind of compare Kurama to All Might in terms of what they're both capable of and everything, just on a strength tier. Yeah. And considering that the Fourth Hokage is better than Kurama, I'm thinking the Fourth Hokage would beat him. Yeah. That's
I don't think about All Might can punch meteors, just from my understanding. Do we think his strength is that level?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not saying Minato could, but I'm saying, like, I think the way they hype up Kurama is that, like, Bijudama is similar to, like, a meteor, basically, getting dropped on the town.
It's like a nuke. Your town gone.
So
these are the two things I had. First, I'm going to talk about the power scale. A lot of people would go to say, like, oh, All Might could punch a tornado. Like, Minato ain't never seen nothing like that. Like, here's my thing. From the lore of the Nine-Tails, the Nine-Tails can flick one of his tails and cause a tsunami. Yeah. Like, he flicks his tails and causes earthquakes. What? He has a nigga dropped a meteor out the sky. Naruto has niggas that have done better feats than creating tornadoes. And then I'm saying, like, if we hype this nigga All Might power up, at max, he not doing more than knocking a whole city down. At max. Maybe he blow one whole city smooth the fuck up. But we seen literally the Fourth Hokage divert Biju Blast that can do that with ease. Like, that shit was a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing that really made me realize that it went from a close fight to this nigga getting dragged is I watched the fight between Ten-Tail Madara and like Might Guy when he went 8 tails. Yeah. So everybody can reasonably assume that if you don't believe Might Guy would beat All Might, you know it's close. You know the fight's close. Right? No matter what, everybody can agree it's close. Yeah. No matter who wins. So here's my thing. I was like, okay, so the Fourth Hokage is so much faster than him because this nigga 8 Gates Might Guy was trying to kill Ten-Tails Madara. These the two fastest niggas in the universe, quote unquote. And this nigga Madara shot those balls that insta kill you at Might Guy. Might Guy couldn't dodge. My nigga, the 4 Hokage, teleported in between a punching Might Guy and these balls, let the balls hit him, and before the balls disintegrated him, teleported out. This is before Might Guy, the nigga that we said can clap with All Might, could even throw a punch. He was in and out that bitch. I'm like, if he's that fast to where 8 Might Guy can't even move, he will drag this nigga All Might. This not going to even be close now.
Yeah. I think that's valid. I mean, I think we all agree.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree?
But you know, this is what I will say for all my naysayers, because that's why we came up with the out of 10 system. I say 4 Hokage drives this nigga 9 out of 10 fights, and that one fight is if he magically somehow connect. I think the 4 Hokage gonna explode. if he connect Detroit Smash on that nigga, he's definitely gonna explode. Like there, he won't come back.
It's like I can imagine a scenario where Minato's sleeping one day and then just for some reason his power was just malfunctioning and then he teleported to All Might in his final fight with All for One. And then just get smacked and that's the
United States of That's the old way.
Yeah, he's getting dragged.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 be 9. We'll see what max level Deku is looking like, but for right now, the My Hero World is not competing with the Ninja World. Not at all.
Yeah, I know, and I know it's disappointing as like a new anime fan because you want that to happen. You want your Naruto to be Dragon Ball Z level because niggas wanted it. Niggas wanted Naruto to be as strong as DBZ, so you could have him be your favorite character and say that he could shit on Goku. The nigga, yeah. But like, it's just not like that, unfortunately.
You know what's crazy? The closest nigga was out of our generation's big three was probably Ichigo, and niggas don't fuck with him like that.
Yeah.
So if you really want a nigga to,
Naruto now is past that because of all the extra shit he got with Boruto. Apparently, according to the Dead Battle niggas,
even with that fucking
because he's taking out hollow
shits?
Moons. And Ichigo's not taking out hollow moons. He just has a sword that's called Blood Moon. That's it.
Them Vasto Lorde shots was changing up the weather in a different dimension. But it's whatever, bro. I don't fuck with Bleach enough to care.
Wow.
Spirit.
Last thing for anime segment. Trash or Lit Kite from Hunter x Hunter. Where does everyone stand on this?
That nigga bum.
Hey, trash.
You say trash?
I say he a bum.
Yeah.
I would say I don't want to go full trash because I don't think he's a trash character. I think he was used as a plot device, but I can't say that he was lit. To me, I think so. I'll just jump into my reasons. Like the things that encompasses a great character to me, right? Sometimes it's strength, right? Abilities and powers. They, especially in the Shonen universe, they play a huge role into how good you look as a character. You may not actually have any meat behind your character, but if you're a raw ass nigga with hands, sometimes you can get away with that, right? Without the actual depth of character development. Then the other pieces like character development or like something interesting about that person's story. To me, the way Kite entered Hunter x Hunter, he was just I studied under Ging, which was like, oh, that's the hype there. It's like, oh, he studied under Gon's dad, who we assume is some top hunter. After that, he trained Gon, but I don't think that training arc was... to me, it was kind of a snooze fest, because I really didn't like the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc anyways. Mm-hmm. So it was actually pretty boring as compared to like the training arc they were before. Even in boring as Greed Island, the training arc with Biscuit, to me, was more interesting. So... There's that. There's also the Zushi training arc. So if we compare him to like the previous trainers of the two,
it's the worst.
Yeah, two of them, he's not that great. And then if we talk about actual depth as a character, I don't know anything about Kite's motivations or what he wanted to do. Wasn't he like some ecological hunter that was his thing?
I don't know shit about that nigga except he got taught by Gon's dad.
Right.
That was his plot point.
He did have a cool power. Which was he was a specialist thing, the different weapons. But the thing about the weapons is, the rule is that, when he's in like really dangerous situations, it gives him the exact weapon he needs in that moment. So even though like, that was the thing they were bringing up on the group or whatever, even though he lost to, that Pito when they fought, The weapon he got, the ability of that weapon is that it allows him to reincarnate. So basically, he knew he was going to win. Like, exactly. They knew he was going to win. That was the only weapon that he could have used in that situation. So, that power, while interesting, is just like there's no meat to Kite's character besides he was just the motivation to get that great scene from Gon versus Pito. But, like, if they told me Kite is coming back, which apparently he is because he got reincarnated as, like, a chimera ant. But, like, if he comes back into the story, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I'm not going to hop to the Hunter x Hunter chapter because the nigga says Kite is back now.
Right.
Like, in talking shit. I don't care. So, so to me, that's why I lean more towards Trash than Lit. I wouldn't say he's a total horrible character where I feel like he's not written.
He's under Leorio.
Yeah, but if you... No.
He's under Leorio.
Oh, under
not
Leorio?
I
like Leorio, though. But... I would say, like, even if you compare him to the other great hunters we saw in that arc, he's not that interesting. The one who I would have hated the most, fucking Smoke Buddy, he ended up being, like, one of the most interesting characters to be. The way that nigga lasted that entire arc and was able to just run niggas' face with that smoke, and the guy who I thought had potential I can make portals and shit, ended up, like, shitting his pants at the end. Like, those two characters alone were way more interesting than anything Kite did. And Kite maybe had more screen time, arguably, than some of them. So
yeah, I think that it was a huge flaw of that arc, the Chimera Ant arc. Like you said, slow build up to the arc anyway, and then you add this character whose only importance that anybody who, unless you just like this nigga for some only really remember him because he got trained by Ging. So you know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. Fuck that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he wasn't in the story, it could continue the exact same way. What that nigga do? Yeah. Help some niggas learn some okay moves?
That's it. I don't even know what was the power from that. Was it just that they were able to... Was it Ren I think
it was a stamina or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought they learned to hide their shit in there, too.
Yeah, some shit. Like... I remember my nigga Zushi. I want Zushi to come back. Come back. Hey, bro, we told Zushi he couldn't be shit. He came back a real nigga. Knocking niggas out, bro. That'd be hard. I'll start reading that shit if Zushi comes back. But I'm not reading that shit. Hey, Kite here, bro. You want to start reading the manga? No. Right?
Oh. But remember his weapons and stuff? All I remember is two weapons from him. That clown, because you can't forget the clown because that's basically what he died off of. And then the scythe. I think he had more, but those are the only two I remember seeing.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Gramps? Why are you saying Trash?
So the biggest thing that pisses me off about him is given the fact that he is trained. He's, from what we understand, the only person that's trained under Gon's dad, who's basically hyped to be like one of the most powerful people within the whole story. Yep. And for him to be taken out in such a weak manner, it made him look like it's kind of like as if Goku trained you for like 10 years and then you turn out to be like Yamcha. That's basically how I felt at the end of the day about this nigga. And all of these, and they put so much more respect, like you were saying, on all of these other characters. I mean, yeah, they might have potentially been training under, what's the old man's name? Netero. Who I would assume probably has even more hype, but I don't know. He seemed very underwhelming to me, given the hype that's placed on Gon's father. So that's why I basically gave him a Trash.
Gotcha. With no counter arguments, you guys have heard it here. The consensus is Kite is Trash.
Garbo.
Let's move on to our next segment. Questions from the audience. So first question comes from S. I think it's 2 underscores. Ahmed 7. Do you think S is stronger than Yuno, or are they on the same level? Do you have a good answer? Because I feel like I mean, I'm at the time skip part, so I don't know if that really changes much.
From my perspective, I think Yuno is stronger. And I don't think Asta's at the point where he can beat him. Like, even with the anti-magic shit, I feel like Yuno could probably just, like, put that nigga in the tornado for real.
If there's anyone who's prepared for the anti-magic shit, It's
This is
Yuno.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
You're like, bro, I know.
Have you seen any other spirits?
The fire spirit?
Yeah, when he fought the salamander, was it like, did they have a counter against his anti-magic, or was his anti-magic still working the same as it always does?
Oh, whoa.
Like when they fought the original chick with the salamander.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering if wind spirits maybe have like, or the spirits have like some type of advantage, but I don't remember his fight against the salamander chick.
Well, the only thing that had advantage
was these hands,
and like apparently magically produced real items.
Oh,
if that makes sense. It's like when that nigga did that hail of swords, Asta couldn't knock all of them away. Right. So that showed me right there. Yuno could just like, oh, I'm gonna whirlwind boulders at you, nigga. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And ain't no nigga here gonna say, no, you can't whirlwind boulders. Like, yeah, right. I'm just gonna shoot a bunch of boulders at you until you die.
Yeah,
I think Yuno has the ability to wash this nigga Asta, and that's the way it should be. Like until he gets to that point where every main character finally is better.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think I was looking at it from a different lens. My lens of it was, I've seen Asta more or less work for every power up he's gotten, and I've never seen Yuno train once, and he's still been able to keep up, if not surpass. This nigga. I feel you. Dog. But it's not even only that though. It's like the level of advantages Yuno began to have. So one, right, like, because I think we can say this now, or you already know that, is Yuno has royal blood. So by default, by the rules of the Clover universe, he already has OP ass magic. Like his magic level is high tier, and like that's one thing I do appreciate about the anime is that when you watch like character like Noelle, you really do see the difference in like royal magic and everything else. Because the shit she makes is big, but like I don't appreciate the size in the manga. But when I watched a couple of her shits, and I was like, oh, that shit is big. Like, and she just outputting this like no sweat. So already there, that puts him like a tier above Asta. Then the second thing is the book, right? He already has a high tier magic book, so that's another thing that's already given him another advantage. Then on top of that, he has a wind spirit. That's another advantage. And then finally, they just revealed in the manga, all of the niggas that got transformed have access to that elf level magic. So they have a little bit of it in them. So they basically it kind of like shortcutted their progression in terms of being able to get to that elf level of magic usage. So now he has that on top of his royal blood, on top of all these things. So the gap is already gigantic between Asta and Yuno. And then the last thing where I felt like was definitive proof that Yuno is still higher is that during their fight with the word demon or whatever, Yuno basically was like, oh, this nigga Asta is losing energy. Like, let me boost him up so that he can do what he needs to do to finish this fight. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh, this nigga Asta is still like weaker, I think, in my opinion. I think he'll get there. This time skip has probably closed the gap a little bit because now he has access to like this devil magic more. But I still don't think he's there yet. So I think we're both in agreement. I think Yuno is stronger.
Yeah. Like if I had to pick somebody to save my life, it'd be Yuno.
Yeah.
That's all.
First of all, Yuno will get there on time. Like as a kid,
Asta would save me, but I would be like horribly injured from the situation and be in the hospital.
I have to cut your arm off to do this.
Right? What? Like if Yuno come save you, you love that nigga afterwards.
There's magic on your arm. I gotta cut it off.
Yuno, cool.
All right. So on to the second question. Comes from Manmanthafamous. Shout out to both of y'all for submitting questions. Do y'all think Boruto is trash? I think we all have an answer.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody want to start?
Oh, was that a yes? It is trash, Gramps? Or
yeah.
Oh,
I ain't even say I haven't seen one full single episode of it, but I'm just gonna call it trash right off the bat.
I think I could also agree that it's trash. First of all, it's not written by Masashi Kishimoto. It's just getting approved by him, and he's basically probably just like, all right, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
That sounds right to me.
To me, I think if anybody watched Naruto and is not like a super biased Naruto fan, you already didn't like the Kaguya ending. So all of Boruto is just a continuation of this Kaguya shit that I felt came from nowhere, wasn't interested, didn't like it. Yeah. So I feel like all that is trash. I do read and watch, not very consistently, but I'll chime in every once in a while just to see if it's got something that's hooked me. So far, no. And I don't like this technology route they're going either. The anime was chock full of filler in the beginning, so that was already a shitty experience. I agree that it's trash. I'm not on the bandwagon. I think it's objectively trash.
Yeah. So the way I feel about it is, I'm not going to call it objectively trash. I will say that I am not a fan. However, I do appreciate some of the choices the guys make, like characters, for example, like
Chino being a teacher.
No, that's
didn't appreciate that.
I didn't appreciate that one. Not all, but then people like Chocho, phenomenal character. I like Sarada,
the kid.
Yeah,
Choji's
kid. Yeah,
oh, okay.
I like Sarada way better than her parents. Like, put Sarada in the original. You feel me? Like, there's some stuff that they doing that I like. I like the respect Byakugan get in. So that's why I can't just outright call it trash. As a nigga that done put, how many chapters Naruto have? About 700 chapters in. I can respect what's going on, but that don't mean I like it.
You sound like a One Piece fan.
Yeah. It's
One Piece fans can't let it go. If there's a bad chapter of One Piece, they can never bring themselves to say it was bad.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like, hey. So I can't call it trash. I can call it is what it is. It exists.
Alright.
What Spirit said.
So it's trash Spirit. So thanks S__Ahmed7 and Manmanthafamous for submitting questions. Let's move on to the second to last section, manga highlights. Alright. We can touch on this stuff. So be on the lookout for our Jujutsu Kaisen and solo leveling. What was it called?
Solo
leveling. Manga impressions, manga and manhwa impressions. We're just gonna touch on it real light here. You want to start with Jujutsu or solo leveling?
Yeah. Just real quick about it. Like I said, we ain't gonna go too deep. But I'll just go with solo leveling manhwa. It's a Korean manga about basically almost like an isekai, but real life. But you can really just view it like an isekai. Just keep it simple. Trash guy leveling up, kind of like Kirito, but minus the parts that made it bad. After 20 episodes or 20 chapters in, I can say that it reads very quickly, and I would have to rate it a decent plus. If you got a spare manga to pick it up.
Yeah, I think for solo leveling, I'm pretty much around. I'd probably just give it a flat decent. It was an interesting story. It does feel like a better Sword Art Online, but my fear is that it's just going to become a Villain of the Week manga, and I would just hate reading that in manga form.
Yeah. So Jujutsu Kaisen, I would say, yeah, so it's kind of like a Bleachy vibe, basically a world where instead of hollows, they got these things called curses, and there is a group of people that hunt them down. Main characters are a typical blessed shonen guy that gets even more blessed by absorbing some demon thing. Like I said, so far that also seems like almost a little bit, what do you call it, Villain of the Week, or maybe
Curse of the Week.
Yeah, Curse of the Week with a gotta catch 'em all theme to it.
Yeah.
So far, like I said, it really shook me because it got a real Bleach vibe to it. And, Bleach hurt my heart, so I don't know if I can go back into that relationship. I got to give it a decent minus.
So for Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm giving that decent plus. I think that the story was good enough to keep me reading.
Bleach ain't hurt you.
I really like the artwork. Bleach was one of my favorites, honestly. If niggas didn't shit on, like, if Bleach didn't have such a bad ending, like, and it was still Big 3, I would be a Bleach fanboy, I think. Compared to the other three, like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, I think Bleach is the one that had my heart in reality.
Interesting.
But it just had a really shitty
You really
ending,
started learning shit.
so I had to leave. But anyway, so story interesting. I really like the artwork. So I think in the way they kind of like do the fight so far. So I'm curious to read more. That's why I'm giving it a decent plus, because I know of this one. I'm reading it now. So I think I'm gonna keep consistent with this one. So that's why I say decent plus.
Interesting.
All right. On to the questions, I guess, for this. So, I mean, I was thinking, I think after our last chapter review, you brought this up that, like, Mirio was a guy who didn't start at the top of class, whatever, in the beginning, and kind of, like, Sleeper picked up his way there. So, the chapter before this one that got released today, we saw the power-ups from, like, the UA students. And of all those power-ups, I feel like the one that was the most interesting and given, like, the characters themselves, like, a huge actual power-up was Invisible Girls. Toru Hakagure, I think her name is. She has the ability now to bend light. That progression to me, I think, is huge. So, I know before the theory was this bitch might be the traitor. It looks like the traitor is not a thing anymore. It doesn't exist.
I guess they gave up on that plot line.
But yeah, so my question is to the group is, do y'all think Toru has a chance at being a Mirio classroom? Maybe not big 3, but maybe big enough to enter the big woman 3. Because right now I would say big woman 3 would be Ochako, Uraka, right? Like, important female character, gets a lot of spotlight. Froppy. And then it's probably debatable between Acid Girl and Momo. But I will argue Momo.
Acid Girl is way better.
But I'm talking about as far as story spotlight goes. I think they probably put more shine on Momo than Acid Girl. But it's probably debatable there. But for sure, Froppy and Uraka are getting the shine. So do you think she has a chance to break into the female big 3? Maybe we'll put it that way instead of
Popularity, she will never. Well, we know one of the big 3 gonna be a woman. That's just like shonen trope. So that's that. Popularity, no, she is not making it popularity. The reason because you can't look at her. She's invisible. Now she can change that. If she get that power up,
that's what I'm saying.
If she get that power up, she might jump up there off just being new. You feel me?
She a dude.
But I already know who's gonna be the come up character for the big 3. It's gonna be Shinso, bro. He gonna the nobody nigga. I came from Gen Ed, my nigga.
Just goes.
Hey,
stop.
I don't think Deku is gonna graduate big 3.
Here's what I'll say then. So, do you think who would you predict was on the chopping block if Shinso was coming to class with A? Do you think Toru was on there?
No.
Oh, do you think Sugar Hope was on the chopping block?
Because at the end of the day, Toru still got, hey, bro, I'm invisible. I still got stealth ops. I can still do stealth missions. Sugar Homie is like, hey, bro, look, you big, you buff, you don't blend in, and Deku putting in more work. You got to go, bro. Right. And then as soon as big homie from class B, B's homie came through, you see what he doing? You got to go. That nigga drug a whole team single-handedly. Bro, he got to go.
How you feel about it, Gramps? Do you think Toru or Invisible Girl is gonna get more shine? I say break big 3, but I'll just say give more shine to make it a more reasonable argument.
She's definitely not going to come up to be this big 3, but she's going to get a little bit of respect on her name placed on her. I feel like everybody's going to get a chance in the future to have at least some respect put on their names. Yeah. I think Ray right ahead, his time to shine, he's down for the rest of the show. But everybody else is going to get at least something. Some kind of respect placed on them. But as far as somebody coming up, I can easily see somebody being in the shadows of coming up to be one of the big 3 and knock one of the current guys out. I would love for it to be Bakugo who gets knocked out of the big 3, but y'all know that shit ain't gonna happen.
That'd have been a nice thing if somebody shot
Bakugo become a villain.
Ooh, it's a rap.
His ass will become a villain.
100%.
Oh God.
But you know what just came to mind, and it's kind of going to segue into the next question, but it would be really scary if Toga got that power.
What power?
Toru's power.
Oh.
I think that would definitely be a great boost for her. Like, yeah, if they got that joint, because she's already an espionage person. So it's like that, like, of all the other powers she could actually add to her arsenal, between Momo's and hers, I think those two would, like, it's over if she has that. Like as far as battle power capability, like that's very versatile. She can turn invisible now, and she can bend light.
That'd be rough.
What is she not getting into? She want to rob banks, laser shits. Fuck out of here! Like I could bend that shit and go get the shit. So like, I think now the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like maybe they might not even have her be big three. Maybe she might turn to a Nomu. Or maybe they might rob, like...
Bro, invisible Nomu, that'd be OP.
Snatch that shit up.
Oh, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
But that's a quirk that I still...
Because to be honest, one is... I can see the plan right now if I was smart, right? If I knew Invisible Girl existed, snatch her up, turn her into a Nomu. Make sure Toga takes her power. Now she can blend into UA 100% of the time. Nobody knows that that's not Toru.
Mm-hmm. And then
there's no way to find out.
I just literally hit him with an "Hey, y'all can control my power now," and just turned into a regular person.
Yeah.
Anybody, just any regular girl I got, and just like, yeah, I'm Tora, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Hakagure.
Yeah.
Toru. Yeah.
Toru. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. Now my theory is turning into her ass might get swooped up.
So
She might get a
all for one be looking at people quirks like, yeah, I need that.
What's that mean with the black dude behind the tree? I gotta turn that into one, bro.
Hell yeah.
OP quirk, awful one.
I need that.
Let me get that up off you. Alright, so last question of the Manga segment. How y'all feel about these villains, bro? Because I think these villains, I just read the latest chapter, these villains are looking good, man. They're looking way better than the heroes right now. And Hawks looks to be real scared of motherfucking Twice.
Here's my thing. Damn right he should. Twice OP.
Well, you looking scared. Shook.
Twice can literally just show us he can solo a city.
Yeah.
Like, you should be shook by that nigga. But this, like, Twice need to die.
You think so?
Hell
you think he's gonna
yeah.
kill him, or you think they're gonna try to find a way to convert him? Because it seemed like they was leaning towards either Hawks is gonna sympathize, or he's gonna like die and try to get it Twice to sympathize.
I think he would try to convert, because heroes ain't gonna kill him.
I feel like Death Flag was being waved in that part.
Somebody's
Death Flag was getting waved. I don't know.
This is what I gotta say. Actually, I am surprisingly more on the side of heroes than I was before. Not saying that I believe heroes gonna win it.
Yeah.
It's just like, at first it was like, 95% these niggas get washed by villains. Now more like there's a 35 to 40% chance they make it. And the reason is because the heroes are on the offensive. Yeah. I thought they were just going to be on the defensive. I was like, y'all niggas going to get ran. But imagine if they come through. Imagine if they just give like, hey, you got to kill order. Like, you could kill. Not every hero going to do it, but if Endeavor Flash Fire, half the Liberation Army gone. You know what I'm saying? You could cut them numbers down with one Flash Fire, let alone two. Yeah. After two Flash Fires, only the coldest niggas around. Like, I'm just saying. I know Endeavor not going to do that, but I'm just saying, now that they on the offensive, shows me that these niggas ready. And let's not forget, cops can still kill niggas. Like, a bullet will take out a lot of these niggas with bullets. So
here's the other follow-up question I would ask too is do you think there are heroes lying in wait, like sleeper agents right now? So Slide and Go looked like they about to meet Slide and Go when like the battle starts. Like Slide and Go will walk out with the Liberation Army. Mm-hmm. But do you think that there's some heroes that are part of the Liberation Army that are still hiding with the regular heroes to front with this? Because I don't think Hawks was there either that walk-up that they showed. So it's like he'll walk out and be like, oh, I'm a double agent or whatever.
I definitely think there are heroes that are still in the organization. I just think that...
Because I'm curious to see how that's going to turn the tables in the battle. Once you, if there's a significant amount of heroes, are they going to use it as something to highlight the heroes where they say, oh, we've already knew these double agents were there, so, it's not a problem? Or are these double agents going to be fights for the students? Or is it going to be, an actual thing that causes a turmoil in the battle?
I have no idea how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Literally, it's so many options right now. I'm just kind of like...
And we still have God Tomura that's going to show up. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's why I'm like, I don't understand what he's setting up here. I sometimes hate his storytelling and the way he builds this.
Because you sometimes
fight.
never know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, and it's like, but then sometimes it's like in a very weird thing. Like, to me, that those 5-6 pages we spent, like, now I get it. I don't hate the power-ups as much more now that I see where the students were placed. They're basically placed on evacuation and rescue duty. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I do still feel like, because of some of the power-ups they mentioned, there's going to be some cause of a fight between these characters, right? Sure. They're just not fighting like the big name niggas, but they're going to fight some people in the evacuation piece of this thing. But like, I'm also just like curious as to, I don't know how he planned his war to play out, because I feel like it would have been better to explore the villain divisions with those pages instead of the hero power-ups. Like, I feel like it should have been flipped, where like that 2-month flashback should have just been like, this is what these niggas learned. And then the pages we saw should have been like, oh, here's what the villains is doing.
Yeah, so, I feel like they just gonna kind of show us what the villains been doing as they introduce them. But I feel like the villains, they got a numbers boost. I don't think they're getting a powers boost.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And anybody that's new, you just gonna have to find out when they get boxed on. Right. If you ever find out. I mean, honestly, I do hope he take like a fucking kind of One Piece-ish route to this. Like, I don't want to see every single one of these niggas' powers. Like, it's too many characters. Have the world continue as we watch main characters do shit and be like, oh shit, Endeavor died off screen. Like, I wouldn't care about that. Well, I seen the nigga box. He not a main character. Yeah. So if he died off screen on some like big niggas was doing big fights while we following the main character, I wouldn't even trip.
I feel like it's going to make way more sense in the anime, because I feel like too many pieces were moving in these past 2 chapters. Like, at the end of the chapter before this, there was like that time skip, and then we showed the doctor, but then we start off this chapter with a flashback, and then a move to the present, but no real talking about what the fuck the doctor was doing. So I feel like that's another chess piece that's moving around in the background of like, so what the fuck is actually... Like, how is this all going to come together? I feel like the anime will do a way better job of storytelling this, to where I go like, oh, okay, like now I see how like the things play together. Because right now I'm like, one, I feel like the heroes should lose this battle, because it just seems like too many unknowns, and they're not showing me how they prepare for these unknowns. It was cool that they found out where the city was, and the Hawks probably provided them some information about the organizational structure, but I don't think they know enough about the powers of these niggas. I don't think they know enough about the no moves. And from what I saw more of those no moves that dropped Endeavor, that damn near dropped Endeavor there, like in that little scene. So I don't know if they actually made more of them. So yeah, I just think it's all around dangerous for these.
That's the one thing where I'm like, bro, I could see the Liberation Front plus the League of Villains. That's a fight where I'm like, ooh, these niggas might be able to come out with it, but I still see them winning. Yeah. Once we talking about the high ends, they might have a high end for everybody in the top 10. Yeah. Like, if you just do that, like, hey, we got a high end for each nigga in the top 10.
It's over. Because I don't see Endeavor's a character development or power development since he got dropped damn near. So I don't see any of the heroes as getting stronger.
Except the kids.
Yeah.
I think my nigga Wind General gonna come through and show somebody what.
That's true. Where the fuck are they?
Apparently this shit happening all around Japan.
They're attacking bases all around Japan?
Yeah, the villains. This is happening in every major city around Japan. So when we see
so each one got a base in every city.
Yeah, so when we see Deku Nim, it's like, oh, that's why Deku was like, oh, y'all niggas going out on some shit too? That's crazy. And they all met up in the city. Apparently this is supposed to be like everywhere in Japan, a bunch of heroes is suiting up with a bunch of students to box on some shit. So I don't think we're going to see all 100,000 niggas on one fight in one city.
Got it. Okay,
that'd be absurd.
That's interesting then. So that means that they're going to fight like one of the heads in each thing.
Yeah, and I think the main characters are the ones that are pushing on Tamura's location at the base of this mountain. Could have completely read that shit wrong. We gonna see.
Alright. Perhaps you got any? Oh, well, you didn't read.
Because I ain't read mine Viz, bro. I read mine on.
I gotta get a chance to catch up.
Niggas.
Hey man, I read that Viz shit. Man, you gotta.
don't fuck with Viz, bro. I'm an old head. I want my shit illegally.
I mean, at this point, it's just too late to matter. You know,
Mhm.
it get dropped. Like everything gets dropped after Viz now, besides One Piece. So, just might as well read it with Viz.
Well, no, I this one site had theirs early.
They had it Friday early or like Saturday early.
Friday night.
Oh wow.
That's why I was like, yeah, my translation might be off. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reread it on Viz to make sure that I was saying that shit.
All right.
Some
Okay.
random niggas translating.
Let's cap it off with MVPs and Goofies of the month. So, for me, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give my Goofy to Seven Deadly Sins because you're still going, and I don't know why. I don't know why this is still going on.
Oh, no, I thought that was your favorite anime, nigga.
It was. And then yeah, for MVPs, I gotta give it to Fire Force, man. It's not even MVP this month. Is not even enough respect because you should have won hella awards last year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's too late now.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? You Beyonce them. And you gotta live with that.
Facts.
Yo, I'm gonna let y'all finish, but I want to say allegedly, R.I.P. to Kobe.
To who?
Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant.
Like, as in just now?
They just announced that shit like probably 10, 15 minutes ago.
Wow. What?
What
The
the
homie
fuck?
passed away in a helicopter crash.
What?
Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. Check the news articles. Shit crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. You don't know when you're going to get taken. That's... Wow. Everyone on board dead.
I don't see that shit on my shit.
Yeah, so at least 3 other people. Fire broke out. Nobody on board survived.
Damn, that's crazy.
His wife wasn't one of the people.
Wasn't?
Was not. I'm assuming Vanessa Bryan is his wife.
That's crazy. You know niggas don't come with conspiracy theories.
For real.
No, of course.
Damn, I heard people like Mamba,
just wanted to
man.
put that out there and have a little quick moment of silence for that one.
Yeah, 100%. Let's have a moment of silence for Kobe Bryant, man. R.I.P. Alright.
Yeah, oof.
Yeah, and I'll try to switch up the mood real quick. I'll give my MVP to Senku from Dr. Stone. Chapter 135, he was, I feel like the man was definitely very well calculated with what he did. I don't know if y'all want me to give the details on it, because I believe I'm probably the only one who actually reads the manga of that, right?
Yeah, I'm in and out of the manga.
I'll forget by the time we get there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't care about
I'm gonna say he's very well calculated for what he's doing against the enemy within the show. He basically calculated it perfectly to stop himself from being repetrified. And I'll give my Goofy of the month to whoever was the person that caught the coronavirus and started spreading that shit. they definitely had to be in some shit that motherfuckers are not supposed to be fucking with.
Mm-hmm.
No lie. You talking about they were eating bats? Nah, they were out there fucking bats or something, dude.
Shit,
They were definitely doing some shit they shouldn't be doing out here in the world. And they caught some shit.
Niggas shouldn't have been doing out here in the world.
Wow.
Motherfuckers catch that corona, bro. I ain't trying to get it.
It's really real.
So my MVP of the year I gave to Nana Shimura because one, I like her quirk. It's basically, it seems like the same quirk as Captain Celebrity, which
being able to float.
Yeah, which like I like Captain Celebrity.
Yeah.
Even though he like a dickhead. If you don't know who Captain Celebrity is, he's from the My Hero spinoff, Vigilantes. But yeah, if it's anything like that, or if Deku get anything like that, he's 100% going the Superman route. Yeah. Which is just interesting. Like,
you gotta put some shine on Gran Torino though. In the back.
Oh yeah,
Gran Torino was hell in the back.
Buff as shit, bro. But
Yo,
Nana Shimura was looking super thick though.
Gran Torino slapping cheeks though.
Oh, he was definitely clapping them motherfuckers.
You think so?
Gran Torino's in there.
Oh!
Jet Boots in there. Nana Shimura is my wife, and I'm like, hey, you know, baby, I know you be working with this Gran Torino guy because y'all heroes and all, but it's kind of weird y'all both got like flying quirks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't check up on you in the skies like that. I can't have you working with this bum nigga, you feel me? And Gran Torino just be sitting on the couch like, I ain't gonna say nothing, you feel me?
Back in my day, I used to be piping all the heroes.
You see these legs?
Yeah, nah, I'm not going. Gran Torino definitely fucking Nana Shimura.
Nana used to hit me too. That's why he could take that All Might punch.
Yeah. I've been to that.
Hey, no, we gotta talk. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like at some point we have to discuss how strong the jaws are of these characters. Because Overhaul survived a punch to the jaw, bro, and it wasn't. I don't know how much longer between that and the attack by Tomura, but this nigga was fine. Like, this was a 1,000% punch to the jaw, and this nigga was...
He was able to talk. His jaw should have been obliterated.
He was totally fine. And then Gran Torino with an All Might punch to the jaw. Yeah. This nigga was like,
All Might was trying to kill a nigga with
that.
And he's like, wow.
What we really need to check on is the quirk for the jaw, bro, because I think people in the My Hero world got some strong-ass chins, man.
Oh, God.
Adamantium jaws in this motherfucker.
That's low-key why it confuses me, where in every anime, when somebody's blocking some type of crazy strong attack, they always put their arms over their face, as if that's going to negate all of the damage across the rest of their body. Oh, nigga, your jaw is the strongest part of you. Block that shit, bro.
That's wild, bro.
The strongest jaws in the world.
For my Goofy of the month, I give that shit to Patry, because we just got to the part in the motherfucking manga where you figure out,
if you join the Patry hating squad,
this nigga fucking, you was a Goofy the whole time. Yep. He done let all this shit just for the Word Devil to be like, you played yourself.
You did.
And then he got mad. And like, I feel like this.
And then got turned into a dark elf.
If a nigga played me that hard, I'd just be like, bro, you got me. I was a fucking Goofy. I was an idiot. But this nigga's like, no, I'm gonna get mad and become a dark elf and then continue to fuck up the world that I fucked up. I'm like, damn, bro, you should have just offed yourself. That would have been the better response to this.
Did I ever ask you how you felt about the Charmy stuff?
Charmy?
Yeah. The world building they did with Charmy?
They didn't go that hard in the anime.
You don't think so?
It was just kind of like.
But I mean, they had a whole other race of niggas though. Dwarves, out of nowhere. No, I guess not, man.
Charmy is just Charmy.
Wolf in sheep's clothes. That's how I opened Ramat's third eye yesterday. Think about it.
No.
Wolf. She was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So you think she bad or something?
No, I'm just saying that they played that trope.
I mean, I guess.
What you mean? There's a literal wolf in the clothing.
I feel you. She just like, I don't fuck with Charmy as hard, bro.
Damn.
At the end of this whole thing where all these niggas doing their power-ups and shit, I'm still like, I still fuck with Gauch over all these niggas.
Really?
Gauch,
I thought the Gauch part. I thought the Gauch part of the elf arc was the funniest part because they was all like, we fucking hate you and your like sister loving shit. But we gotta save you. Yeah. You're still part of the Black Bulls. Alright, y'all.
Yeah.
We done. See y'all next month, I guess.
Bye.
For some Valentine's Day related content.
Yeah, hey. This is gonna be my 2-year anniversary.
You think wouldn't it be 3?
Is it?
We started like May 2016. That was the first episode I recorded with
these niggas. Don't even give me an anniversary gifts. Fuck these niggas.
Wow. Alrighty.
Bye.
See y'all later.